Hi guys, and welcome to another session of Honest Talk About Women, where you'll learn tips, tricks and strategies on how to navigate the minefields of dating and relationships. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also comment in the comment section. It all helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you've got a story you want to share with viewers, you can contact me on my email address listed below. So let's get into it. Quite often I get asked, how do I find a girlfriend? And that's probably the number one question I get from a lot of guys. So this video will be on the 12 best ways on how to find a girlfriend. So 12 pointers on strategies on how to find a girlfriend. So before you start to want to find a girlfriend, guys, you've got to be in the right headspace. That means no messy divorce, no messy separation, no jealous exes that will stir the pot once you get yourself a new girlfriend. So you've got to have all that out of the way, and you've got to be in the right headspace. So you've got to have a positive attitude. You can't be full of conspiracy theories and talking about how the world's controlled by 3 or 4 people, that sort of stuff, or the COVID vaccination conspiracies, all that. Take that out. You've got to have the right headspace and be quite positive for dating. Secondly, you need to be in shape. And you got to do the hard yards. You got to get to the gym. You got to watch your diet. You got to watch your alcohol intake. And if you are overweight, there's a good chance you'll attract like for like. So if you're looking for a nice slim person, then you also need to be slim yourself. So you need to get out there and do the hard yards and get into the gym. Also, grooming. It's really crucial, guys, that you groom properly for a date or when you want to get, attract a girlfriend. An iron shirt, no dirt underneath the fingernails, and it goes on and on. So I've got a separate video I'll list at the end of this video where you can get grooming tips. And you've got to have a bit of game. You've got to be an interesting sort of person. You've got to be doing things. You've got to have some hobbies. Something that people get attracted to. And you don't have to have lots and lots of money. That's a myth. A lot of people say, oh, Scott, you need to have a lot of money in my town to get a girlfriend. But that's not true. There's a hell of a lot of guys out there that are super rich, and I know personally, and they can be really, really boring. We're talking about people with 30, 40, 50 million plus, and they've got all the money in the world, but they're single, and they're very, very lonely because they don't have any game or they're not interesting people. So money is just not all the equation to it. Money is not the biggest equation to finding a girlfriend, so forget that. So most people do the dating apps because it's convenient. You can lie on the couch, you can swipe left, swipe right, all based on looks. And you can put very little effort into it. I don't know what it costs these days, maybe $30, $40 a month. And you just put some photos on, and you're away. I don't use dating apps. I have used them in the past. I find them very low probability, and also the caliber of the people on the other side who you're looking at. It can be a very diverse group of people. So most people I swipe left on. There's very few that I swipe right on. And of those people that I swipe right on, very little go towards a connection. So there's very few people that lead to an eventual date. And then if I do get on an eventual date, there's probably a 5 or 10% chance of me seeing them again. I find with dating apps, you can put a lot of effort into it, but there's no substitute for meeting someone in person. And even though dating apps are very convenient, not having to leave your house, you can do it from your bed, you can do it from your couch. Looking at women, there's simply no substitute for meeting people in public, and that's the best way to meet people. So now I'll get on to the 12 tips I find where you can find a girlfriend. So turn the music down, guys, especially you guys in the back seat, and listen very, very carefully what I'm about to say, because I'm only going to say it once. The big secret to find a girlfriend is you need to go where the girls are, okay? That is the big secret, and it's not really a big secret at all because most people already know that. You need to go where the women are, okay? And women gravitate towards certain areas, and that's where they can be found. So we've got to go where the women are. So let's get underway and go through the 12 areas where you can potentially find a match. Everyday interactions are opportunities, guys. So every day when you get up, you catch a bus or you go to the car park and you see the same person on the bus or the same person parking the car next to you, opportunity. If you go into a bank, very rarely do I go into a bank these days, but on the off chance I do go into a bank and there's always a queue in the bank because they understaff it, you can start talking to someone in the queue, small talk. Banks aren't the places they used to be, and so forth. Also, Kmart. I know Kmart's disappeared in some countries. It's still vibrant in Australia and New Zealand. Target is another one. These are places where women go to shop, and you can start off some really small talk, or someone drops something on the ground, you can offer to pick it up and give them, put it back on the rack for that person. It's all elementary stuff, and you can judge. You can see so much when you see someone in reality rather than through a dating app. Another one is gardening shops. Women love to garden, and sometimes in those garden shops, there's women who are big spenders, and there are women who are very passionate about their gardens, and it's a great place to strike up a conversation. So that's point number one. Point number two is a dog park. Now, women love dogs, and a lot of them work during the day, and then between 4 and 6, young poach can't get out of the house and is raring to go. So when someone arrives home, they've got to take the dog out for a walk. They go to the local park, and I have had a couple of dogs in the past. In fact, I've got one at the moment, and I take it for a walk, and the dog park's always full with women and their dogs, and there's some beautiful women there. And it's so easy to start talking about your dogs with other people. Obviously, if your dog goes up and tangles around with someone else, another dog, and the owner of that dog is a young lady, then you're away, kicking. Okay, point number 3 is walking, hiking groups. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea exercise, but if you want to do walking, hiking groups, there's always groups in your area that go on fun trips, and some of them are overnighters, some of them are day trips, some of them are just morning trips, and you can just pick and choose. There's so many of them around in your area, so get online, look for a walking hiking group. There's plenty out there, and it's a great way to judge someone based on their physical exercise, how they pack their bags when they go for a day tramp or bag, what they eat on the day tramp. Also, you can chip in on conversation when they're talking about things. It's a great way to meet new people. Okay, point number 4 is sports clubs. Now, some women love sports, and there's plenty of sports where it attracts a lot of women. And one is tennis. A lot of women play tennis. Another one is soccer clubs, or some people call it football. In other parts of the world, a lot of women are playing soccer these days. So joining a soccer club is a great way. You don't actually have to play soccer. You can be a supporter of the club, depending on how well organised the club is. And they're always having events, so socials, gatherings. So get plugged in. There's a ready audience there. Another one is swimming clubs. I did some swimming for a while to improve, because I'm by far not the world's best swimmer, and I met some beautiful people there. Some beautiful women want to learn how to swim or improve their swimming style, and so you've got a ready-made audience there. Another one is golf courses. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, golf, but a lot of women play golf, and after you playing your 18 holes in the clubhouse, that's where a lot of interaction can be done. So that's it for sports clubs. Okay, the 5th one is BNI. So I wasn't familiar with BNI until about 12 months ago. It stands for Business Network International, and it's basically for people who are self-employed or working for a large company that want to improve their sales. And you have chapters all throughout a city, and it's about $1,000 a year for membership from memory, and it works well for people that want to sell domestic services. It didn't work for me because one of my businesses is mostly export, almost 100% overseas, so it didn't work for me. But what I got out of it was some fantastic people, and they have social functions, and you go along and you meet their friends, and you meet their friends with their friends, and by the time you know it, you've got yourself a great circle of people who are vibrant, new ideas, fresh thinking, and you're in the tune with. So Business Network International, it's something I came across about 12 months ago. Gave it a go. Great people. Not really for me because I don't sell domestic services, but I've seen people who are self-employed who have done very well financially out of these chapters, and they trade a lot of their services with other people, and they grow and grow and grow. So it's a great organisation if you want to join it, and there should be a local chapter because they're all over the world. Okay, number 6 is meetup.com. So another group I hadn't heard of, and this recently came across, and they have some fantastic events, and there's a lot of people coming and going out of towns, and a lot of people want to celebrate an event, and they put on meetup, the celebration, and there's a lot of social events you can attend, and you meet some really great people. But it's also good for business too, business networking. There's an entrepreneurs club that meets once a Thursday every month that talks about emerging trends with technology. Really interesting, really great bunch of guys. And there's some great women there too. So meetup.com, that's been around for about 20 or so years. I think it's got about 40 to 50 million members. Is a great avenue to meet new people, and there's so many different meetups you can do, from social to hiking, walking to business and so forth, and there's something for everybody there, and it's pretty much free. Number 7 is Facebook groups. I don't have a active Facebook profile. I previously was involved with Facebook, but now I consider it a lot of noise because you get bombarded with things. But there is a option there to plug into very niche groups that you have interests in, whether it be a chess club, whether it be cryptocurrency, whether it be construction, whether it be puppies. There's something for everybody on Facebook, and it's a great avenue to meet new people and join a group. Number 8 is the gym. Most people like to go to the gym. I go 3 times a week, love it. And there's some beautiful looking women there at the gym, but you got to be mindful that there's very strict policies at a lot of gyms about hitting on women, so you got to do it subtly. So obviously some small talk at the gym is fine without any flirting, and maybe offer it to work with someone to do the weights. If you read properly, and this is where you got to develop some skills on reading someone's body language, if you think there is interest there, engage it, then connect outside the gym, because if you do it inside the gym, it can backfire and you can get a complaint made. You can be head up for sexual harassment if it gets interpreted differently, and you can get your gym membership cancelled. I've seen it happen. I've heard about it. So be careful how you do that one. But outside the gym, which is outside their jurisdiction, you're fine. Work. Now, work is a tricky one. It's not encouraged to flirt with anyone at work or approach people at work, because certain companies, usually the bigger the company, the stricter they are with the HR policies, and you can be head up for sexual harassment or unusual conduct and get demerit points on your HR file and possibly lose your quarterly bonus. So I don't encourage work, but where I do encourage work is if you are self-employed, you have a small business, run an advertisement to employ someone, an avenue to hire a potential girlfriend. And a lot of guys I know in small businesses have met their wife through their work, through employing the right person that connects with them. So I've employed hundreds of people in the past, and I've employed a lot of females. And at the time when I was in those businesses that employed a lot of people, I was happily married at the time, so I wasn't actually looking, but there was a tremendous amount of flow of beautiful people coming through. But obviously, you know, you don't want to get too carried away with making decisions down below. You want to use it from your head. And you want to make sure that that person can also contribute towards your business, because you don't want to take on a liability. You want someone who can come on board, who can do the job you're looking for them to do. And if it comes off into a relationship, it's a bonus. Number 10 is a roommate, Airbnb. A lot of people complain today about the cost of living, and I can totally understand it. It's very, very costly to live in a lot of cities. Some people may have a big house and they may be looking for a roommate to split costs. And depending on who's out there available, start screening people. And should you develop into a relationship with one of your roommates, then you've got to go down the legal track and make sure that that your house, if you do own your house, then yours property, and it's not co-joint property. So obviously you need to speak to a lawyer who specializes in that advice. I can't give legal advice, but there are plenty of lawyers around the town that specialize in property assets of relationships, and they can offer you good advice. Also Airbnb, if you may have a granny flat out the back, or a room underneath the house or whatever. There's a lot of people coming and going in the town. Airbnb is a great way to rent things out and also meet people who come to town, and you can start talking, and there may be matches, there may be not, but it's just another option that you can look into. Where roommates work well is if you're flatting. So flatting in this part of the world means you don't own the house. You have a landlord that you pay rent to, and maybe it's a 4 or 5 bedroom house, and you've got you and your 2 mates in the house, and there's another room that can be rented out, and you rent out the room to someone. And if you rent it out to a pretty young lady that you're attracted to, and there's chemistry down the track, then all the better. But doing it in that way, there's no legal consequences, because you don't own the house, so you've got really nothing to lose on that front. It becomes very tricky when a woman is living underneath the same roof as you, and you're in a relationship. Property that you previously thought was separate can get commingled, and it can get quite messy. So once again, seek a lawyer who can give you proper legal advice. Okay, number 11 is bars and nightclubs. They're pretty much yesterday's events, but they still are very popular, even though they are decreasing. There's been a decrease in the number of pubs out there, number of nightclubs, and partly because it becomes very, very expensive going to those events. Sometimes there's an entry charge, and then a beer or a wine can cost up to $20. Glass of champagne, $25. It's not a cheap exercise, but women love to dance, and they really do like the 80s music, 90s music, even the 70s music, and women love to dance. And a lot of them hang out at bars and nightclubs, and there's, in any particular big city, there's usually categories of pubs and bars, and some cater for the young 20s, others cater for 30s and 40s and 50s. So you pick one that's your age group and you're comfortable with, and they play your type of music. Not a favourite of mine, because of one, the music's way too loud usually to talk, and secondly, the drinks are horrendously expensive. So that is an option for a lot of guys that do like to dance and get out there and meet women. And lastly, if you're not a nightclub bar person and you're quite nerdy, libraries are a great avenue for meeting similar-minded people. So go bury yourself in a library, whether it be a university library or a public library. There's always beautiful women in libraries. So again, you got to have a proper code of conduct. You can't be too blunt in your approach. Obviously start off with small talk, but if you are to meet someone in a library, you can work out so much more to them than seeing them through a dating app. So those are my 12 points for today, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment in the comments section, hit the like button, and also if you want advice on dating and relationships, you can purchase my book, Alpha Dating, on Amazon Kindle books. Until next time, take care.